This is Mariah, a university sophomore. Mariah is usually skeptical of information she sees on social media, and she takes a lot of pride in carefully evaluating posts before she shares them. For her, it's important to look into things so she doesn't mislead anyone. This is also Mariah, just 1 week later. She has a massive midterm tomorrow, and her situationship is ghosting her, so she's understandably totally stressed out. After 2 hours of doom scrolling instead of sleeping, Mariah, overcome with anxious thoughts and exhaustion, posted 3 news articles to her story that weren't actually true. Unfortunately, even disciplined fact-checkers can be vulnerable to our environment, which can present roadblocks for us to think critically about the information we see. Therefore, here are 6 tips to help you practice mindful information engagement to avoid the spread of misinformation on social media. Tip number 1, leave the app. There is so much information on social media platforms that it can become super overwhelming, creating a lot of noise. Sometimes, having too much to parse through can make it even harder to tell fact from fiction or personal opinions from legitimate news. In order to manage information overload, we recommend leaving the app. A quick browser search for a story might help you find a reliable news source, helping you to evaluate what you saw while also feeling less overwhelmed. Tip number 2, be aware of your mental state. When we are feeling tired, stressed, anxious, or in an otherwise poor mental state, it's completely normal for us to feel less motivated to do what feels like work. The social media environment itself can also cause us to feel fatigue. Remember Mariah's doom scrolling? Unfortunately, we have a tendency to sacrifice evaluating information before sharing when our emotions have taken over. Check in with how you are feeling before you start sharing information online. Sometimes it's okay to say, I'm not in the right headspace to be sharing this right now, and save the post to review later. Tip number 3, create a social media routine. When we become dependent on social media platforms and start being glued to our screens, we become desensitized to the negative impact they have on our mental state. However, establishing a routine can reduce some of this cognitive strain, kind of like the routine of brushing your teeth. Therefore, it can help to manage your social media use by establishing specific times of day you want to use the sites or setting time limits in your app settings. As your mental load lessens, you will probably be more willing to fact-check the information you see. Tip number 4, embrace what brings you joy. Misinformation frequently takes the form of political information, health information, or evolving current events. While social media has become an important part of how we acquire this type of information, it can take a dark turn when we get sucked into problematic, unproductive patterns like doom scrolling. Consider what parts of your feed bring you joy. Is it updates from friends? New recipes? Animals? Being mindful of the types of information we get sucked into can help us conserve our energy and maintain a level head when we encounter something that requires further investigation. Tip number 5, resist comparing yourself with others. For many of us, the pressure to maintain a positive reputation and stay relevant on social media can be exhausting. As mentioned previously, exhaustion experienced while using social media can hinder our willingness to evaluate the information we see. Sometimes we might feel pressured to participate in conversations or weigh in on topics we don't fully understand. This can increase the likelihood of us unintentionally spreading misinformation. Therefore, we should prioritize sharing information that we have personally evaluated over information that we think will improve how others perceive us. Tip number 6, pause before you share. Disinformation and fake news exist to be shared. They play on our emotions and our beliefs, sometimes making it feel like we need to share them right away. But sometimes, part of being a responsible information user is practicing restraint when we aren't in the position to share something, because we don't know enough about the topic or because we aren't in the right headspace to critically evaluate it. Sometimes, despite our best intentions, our current circumstances and mental state can influence our impulse to share information without properly evaluating it first. In today's society, social media has become such an important driver for our connectivity and discovery. As consumers of social media, we all have a responsibility for ensuring the information we put out there won't unintentionally misinform others. We hope these tips can help you to be more mindful as you encounter new information. Thanks for watching.